2,000. Just think about that number for a second. It's a massive, almost incomprehensible amount when you're looking at it on a daily scale. I mean, imagine being solely responsible for producing 2,000 offspring every single day. Well, in a honeybee colony, that is the exact daily egg count of one single individual, the queen bee. She is the ultimate central authority, the only sexually mature female in the entire hive, and she works tirelessly to sustain a bustling, complex city of tens of thousands of bees. But what happens to this highly organized society if that central pillar is suddenly removed? Welcome to this explainer. I am so incredibly excited you're here today because we are unpacking a literal ticking clock biological thriller. We're going to look at the exact second a queen bee departs her colony and the cascading, super high-stakes emergency response that immediately follows. Whether her departure is a planned royal exit or a sudden catastrophic accident, the countdown to save the colonies starts that very second. As our sources outline, the entire social structure of the hive depends absolutely on the queen's presence. There's no decentralized government here, right? Everything flows directly from her. So the moment she's gone, the hive doesn't just panic. It's plunged into a highly coordinated emergency. But that raises a big question. How do tens of thousands of bees even know their queen is missing in the pitch black of a crowded hive? Well, the answer is this invisible chemical tether. It's a specific chemical cocktail called queen mandibular pheromone, or QMP. The queen constantly emits this scent, and it acts as the ultimate authority, actively suppressing the ovaries of the worker bees and just washing over the colony as a continuous chemical reassurance that everything is perfectly stable. Within just a few hours of her departure, the absence of this scent acts like a blaring alarm. The noise level in the hive actually spikes as worker bees become frantically agitated and completely disorganized. So, how do they fix it? Let's dive into Section 1, the biological pivot, specifically the emergency rearing protocol. The hive's response to this sudden mechanical failure of their society is honestly nothing short of miraculous. Once the workers realize the queen is gone, they initiate a backup plan with ruthless efficiency. Walk through these rapid-fire steps with me. Step 1. The workers select several existing young larvae, but they have to absolutely be under 3 days old. Step 2. They flood these specific larvae with an exclusive super nutrient-rich diet known as royal jelly. And Step 3. The specialized diet literally alters the gene expression of the developing bees. This just brilliantly illustrates the sheer wonder of hive biology. By simply changing what a larva eats, the colony transforms what would have been completely ordinary sterile worker bees into potential new queens that possess fully developed reproductive organs. A specialized diet actually rewrites a commoner's destiny into royalty. The entire survival of the hive depends 100% on the successful biological mutation. But, sometimes a departure isn't actually an accident. That brings us to Section 2, the divergence, looking at the planned swarm. So the crucial takeaway here is that during a planned swarm, the hive essentially just divides itself right in half. It's a highly orchestrated, very deliberate act of reproduction for the colony as a whole. The old queen takes about 50% of the hive's population with her, and they fly off to find a brand new home that scout bees have already carefully scouted out in advance. Meanwhile, the remaining 50% stay behind in the original hive. They're left with a few unhatched queen cups, just waiting in the dark for a new leader to emerge and take over. But what happens when that emergency protocol works a little too well, and multiple queens hatch at the same time? Welcome to Section 3, the Royal Rumble, the Battle of the Virgins. Whether she left by accident or took half the colony in a planned swarm, the hive is waiting. And redundancy in leadership, that simply cannot be tolerated. Imagine the absolute sensory intensity inside the hive right at this moment. The newly emerged virgin queens are immediately aware they aren't alone. To hunt each other down in the crowded darkness, they use a high-pitched, vibrating sound called piping. It's basically this eerie biological sonar used exclusively to locate their royal rivals. Once they lock on to that sound, it becomes a frantic, kinetic race. We're talking a literal seek and destroy mission playing out across the combs. They totally bypass the worker bees. Their only goal in life right now is to find the source of that piping before they are found themselves. The tension here is immense. When two virgin queens finally meet, there is no compromise. There is no sharing of power. It's immediate gladiatorial combat to the absolute death. They will fight relentlessly until only one supreme survivor remains alive to claim the throne. And look at how evolution has perfectly equipped them for this very specific royal battle. The comparison here is completely fascinating. We all know a regular worker bee stinger is barbed, right? If a worker stings you, she loses her stinger and she dies. She can only ever use it once. But a virgin queen stinger? It is perfectly smooth. She can use it as a lethal weapon multiple times without any harm to herself whatsoever. She is biologically built for this exact brutal showdown. Okay, so one virgin queen stands victorious, but the colony still isn't safe. We now enter Section 4, the final gamble, the nuptial flight. Up until this point, the virgin queen has never actually left the safety of the hive. But to secure the genetic future of her colony, she has to take to the sky. This is the ultimate point of no return. She flies out to mate with drones, the male bees, from entirely different neighboring colonies just to ensure genetic diversity. Now, pay really close attention to this incredible biological mechanism, the spermatheca. During this one single, perilous journey outside, she has to collect and store millions of sperm inside this specific organ. Why? Because this one supply has to last her for her entire life. She'll draw from this exact reserve to lay those 2,000 eggs a day for years and years to come. But, of course, this flight exposes her to the outside world. If a bird eats her in midair, or if a sudden storm prevents her from returning, the colony officially loses its final lifeline. Remember that emergency protocol we talked about earlier? Because so much time has passed since the original queen left, there are no longer any young larvae under 3 days old left in the hive. A second emergency rearing is biologically impossible. If she doesn't come back, the hive is doomed. Let's pull all of this together to see the epic narrative we've just tracked. The departure of a queen sets off a cascading biological race against time. To survive, the colony absolutely relies on a flawless transition of power. It's this incredibly intricate dance driven by invisible pheromone cues, magical dietary interventions that actually rewrite genes, and ruthless to-the-death royal battles, all culminating in one highly dangerous mating flight. Which leaves us with this final provocative thought. If every single one of those intricate steps succeeds, the hive is flawlessly reborn, continuing its legacy. But if even one step fails, the colony faces inevitable extinction. It truly makes you marvel. How fragile is this ultimate, highly ordered society? It's a razor-thin line between total survival and complete collapse, managed entirely by the collective intelligence of insects. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this incredible source material. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.